The Chemistry of Baking Bread by Islam Taher. The chemical formula for yeast is C6H12O6, which means glucose, 2 C2H6O, which means ethanol, plus 2CO2, carbon dioxide. Flour, salt, sugar, butter, yeast, and warm water will be all the ingredients in order to make bread. Hydration of flour to get dough is not just a simple mixing process. By mixing the dough mechanically, CO2 bubbles expand within these bubbles to form yeast for sugars. A mixer also stretches the gluten and traps the CO2, and the dough becomes stronger. After the dough is mixed, the dough is proved. Proving the dough is a process where you let the dough rest. This builds up more CO2 within it. What makes the bread rise is when sugars, carbon dioxide, and alcohol are released, which makes the bread rise. While the bread is baking, the bread is undergoing a chemical change because when yeast is baking with the bread is forming something new. Chemical reactions in the bread transform carbon dioxide and water into sugars and other substances. The fat in the bread gives a softer texture and helps prevent the CO2 bubbles from escaping from the mixture. Baking powder is baking soda with acid added that neutralizes the base and produces more CO2. Just like how fat gives a softer texture, beating the egg whites helps retain gas bubbles, while the egg alone acts as a protector. Salt adds flavor and strengthens soft fat and sugar mixtures. Salt is added to enhance the flavor of cakes and breads and to toughen up the soft mixture of fat and sugar. While the bread is baking, it is endothermic because bonds are being broken down while the baking session is taking place in the oven. 25 to 45 minutes later in the oven, you have your perfect loaf of bread. Thank you for watching the chemistry of baking bread.